I give her her?
Nicotine gum for a flight. And I got her diploma for it. Figured she might want it.
That's pretty thoughtful of you. Very thoughtful. Oh, you're gonna miss Mel while she's on her trip.
Man, y'all don't start, man.
There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Look, I miss Sean every time you go to Disney World, bro.
And I missed Deshaun when he was out for his auntie's surgery.
Bro, I could feel that. Were you praying? Say less, bro.
This is different. She's missing.
Bro, calm down. It's okay to care about one person more than you care about everybody else, Terrence. We're late all the time. You never come looking for us. I don't blame you, though. Mel got that Lizzo Rihanna thing going on. Lasagna.
Well, there you go. That was just a preview of what you can expect from Hulu's new hit show, How to Die Alone. And joining us now is one of the show's cast members and producers, who you can also catch headlining at Drai's Comedy Club this weekend.
Yes, please welcome Chris Powell, aka Comedian CP.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm happy to be here.
We're
Yeah,
thrilled.
well, we started out with a little clip, so we first got to jump right into How to Die Alone. I mean, what can people expect if they haven't seen it yet?
Oh, man. So this show is hilarious, but it's also like heartfelt and relatable and just real. You know, it's a workplace comedy, so it's set in the airport, a place that we all are familiar with very well. All these characters. It's just like a very in-depth world. I'm learning things about the airport that I never knew, even as a producer. So as a viewer, you better get a real crash course in what it means to be at the airport.
Yeah, you just mentioned producing as well. Obviously, we saw you on camera starring in it. So splitting that role, this is something that a lot of people not necessarily struggle with, but it's finding that right balance. How was that for you?
Man, I think, you know, when you're a producer, I was in the writer's room the whole time. Natasha Rothwell is just super amazing, super intelligent. So this is my first big producing credit, and so she kind of was like my first mentor in producing. But it's good to understand the whole script and the whole story and the intention behind the story, because it helps me to deliver the lines better. So honestly, as a producer, I feel like it makes me a better actor because I'm way more aware of the moment, what's going on, what to do, what not to do, and just knowing the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you feel like viewers have been receiving the show, reacting to it? What is the feedback you're getting?
Oh my God, man, my mom's friends are calling me. I'm so emotional, this show is so good. I'm like, Auntie, please call me back, please, I'm at work. You know, it's just one of those things, man, like it's exciting because a lot of people are gonna feel seen on this show. You know, a lot of single people, a lot of people who dealing with weight issues, a lot of people dealing with just dead-end job feel. You know, like it's a lot of people who kind of fall into this category, and so they're loving it, like feeling seen, man. And I'm just like, stop calling me, please.
Is anyone sending you text messages about how to navigate an airport? I'm traveling here, you know, CP. Can you give me some ideas of what gate I need to go?
I'm getting more calls about, can I get on season 2, please?
Yeah, of course.
I'm lonely. I'm about to die alone. Like, please stop. Please stop.
I mean, you know, people, you know, may be familiar with you from that, but not necessarily with your stand-up. So we should definitely move on to that because that's what you're in town for this weekend.
Right.
What can people expect from coming to see a CP show?
Not what you see on How to Die Alone, right? My shows are wild and crazy, very imaginative material, very striking. I try to pride myself on doing the kind of material that builds a world up and then flips it on its head. You know, like I think that smart stand-up is essential to the craft. Like it has to be rooted in intelligence first. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't lead into it trying to fight for the joke. I have an opinion. I have a frame of reference, and so like that's what you can expect to see is like, you know, somebody who knows what they want to talk about, knows what they're doing. You're in good hands at a CP show.
Yeah. Well, you're also no stranger to Las Vegas. I mean, you were here for Hartbeat Weekend.
Yeah.
What is it like to perform here?
Man, so well, not just to perform here, but to perform with Kevin Hart as a comedian. It was amazing, man. I had a great talk with Kevin, which, you know, in this business, you're always adjacent to the greats, right? So I've seen Kev a bunch of times. We've kind of shook hands in passing, but to really get an in-depth conversation with Kev, we did like 9 shows together over the weekend, and it was just like, man, he thought I was hilarious and just giving me tags and me giving him tags and, you know, just talking about his new show and just all kind of stuff. That's so important to a young comic and a young creative to kind of like rub elbows with the greats and really have them to kind of bring you in to what they have going on. So shout out to Kevin Hart, shout out to Hartbeat. I have my own show on Hartbeat as well now, so a lot of good stuff came out of that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you're a busy man. You're acting, producing, you're doing your stand-up. You also have the CP podcast,
correct,
which is completely different to everything else. So, I mean, if people haven't heard that, want to tune in, listen to that, what's that all about?
So the CP podcast, we're actually on a hiatus right now between season 2 and season 3. I'm coming back with something crazy big for you guys. But it's a podcast that just talks about conspiracies and, you know, ghost stories and cool stuff that I think sometimes we forget is cool because there's like a status quo cool that we forget that there's like other stuff like video games and just how many stars are there and what is a star, what makes a planet, and how do we know that we're alone on this planet? Things that like people really want to talk about. I think that this podcast was my way to kind of cut through the mundane and really just get to it, you know, like.
Well, we
cool
could
stuff.
spend a lot more time with you. I wish we had more time.
When you mentioned all that, definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. To keep up with CP, you can find him on YouTube and social media at Comedian CP. And again, you can catch him at Drai's Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. Get your tickets now at the website right on your screen.